I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Hack2House Alberta Curling Series Women's Major here at the Beaumont Curling Club. My name is Jim Nixon. I will be bringing you the game this evening between Yoshimura, who we just saw this afternoon, not very long ago actually, and Sturmay from Alberta here. Sturmay, another curler that comes through the Alberta University of Alberta program. A lot of you would know her brother as well. Should be a pretty good game. The Yoshimura team played quite well today, and I think the Sturmay team is going to play fairly well all the time. Maybe a little more information as we go. I had a little trouble getting into that for a little while, so I was a little late getting it, but looks like it's working okay now. So early on, Sturmay with hammer, and Yoshimura sitting 2 here in the early stages of this game. This game is a B division game, so both these teams have 1 loss. This looks like it could be good. Very nicely done. In other words, this is also a triple knockout for anybody that doesn't know that, so you do have to lose 3 games before you're eliminated. The loser of these games will drop down into the C division, and the winner will proceed to a B qualifying game to be played tomorrow morning, actually. In turn hit, we've been very lucky this week to have had great curling ice. It continues to be that way. It might be a tiny little bit straighter than it was earlier in the week, and maybe even into last weekend. I'm not sure, but it's really plenty of curl, so it's very, very good ice. Matteo is the ice maker here, I believe, and does a heck of a job. In-turn hit, this one's hanging out a little bit. It's got to curl a bit. It will come up just enough. Doesn't stay, but does the job. So Yoshimura decided to play a little defense there and hit that corner guard. She didn't see anything going that was going to be helpful for her, but managed to miss it, and now Sturmay will look to duck around that corner. Busy place, the Beaumont Curling Club, the last 10 days or so. They hosted the men last week. I think it was 18 men's teams, and I think it's 16 women's teams this week. And starting on Thursday afternoon / evening, So there's been pretty steady flow of competitive curling here at the Beaumont Curling Club for the last 10 days or so. I guess it wouldn't be 10 days yet, but getting close to 10 days. Very nice shot. Yoshimura looking to play an out-turn tap, really. It's a lot of curling clubs, if you were playing, you would say, well, I can't really hit this, but on this ice, you can hit this and probably stay completely buried if you can match up the weight. As you can see, very good shot. So without a whole lot going on here, Sturmay will hit this and stay. I don't know if she's going to try to roll behind that corner or not. She might. Going to make it curl a bit, so it looks like she'd like to give it a try. She's going to be very close. Very good effort. Very nice weight control. That's what we found over the last 2 days for the games that I've been doing anyways. It's just some of the teams have it figured out that way, and some of them are just kind of just grasping a little bit of the weight control, both on regular takeouts and even on draw weight to some degree. So unlike sometimes when you play on ice that has a lot of curl like this, that runs really straight when you up the weight, this ice will straighten up, obviously, like most would, but not quite to the degree of some other sheets. It's you will still get some decent curl even if you're throwing it down there to kind of a regular takeout weight, like a sort of a 10 if you're somebody that uses the numbers. 9, 9.5, 10, somewhere in there. You'll still get some curl. It doesn't just run dead straight on you. So it's the out-turn hit. Yoshimura's first rock. So he's got to curl a little bit. Very good job by the sweeper there. You notice the one sweeper, and I don't know which one that is, but certainly did a great job of carving that rock over there a little bit. Looked like for a minute it might not quite get there. So same call for the Sturmay team. See if they can duck in behind that guard. This looks really good. Great shot here for the first stand. It was a really nice job by the Sturmay team on a couple of those shots, getting those rocks over there. So Yoshimura looking at a run back versus a come around, I think, or she may just be trying to find how much room she has. It looks like, yeah, I take that back. She was just trying to figure out what she had for room. And now she's looking at playing a little corner freeze to the yellow one. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be shot in a position where Sturmay can't remove it for a couple. So this will be an out turn. Don't really want to bounce off of this one. If you bounce off it at all, then you're going to give Selena a chance for a 2, which you'd rather obviously not do. Change the shot up now. She's going to go to something probably I would say in about a hack weight shot to try to remove the yellow one. She's decided when she got to the hack she can probably see a little bit from the hack, and on this ice, if you can see any of it, that's going to be good enough to be able to hit it. It's on its way. Indicating it might be just a little bit heavy, but I think it looks pretty good. You got to get it by. And they will. And they actually won't even roll very far. That's a terrific shot by Yoshimura. That was not an easy shot. Had to throw perfect weight, which she did. Just if you notice, she just had enough weight to move that yellow, well, probably, I don't know, 8 inches or 10 inches outside the circle there. So a terrific shot. And the other thing that makes it good is that Sturmay would like to blank here, but she has to be a little bit careful, because she could run it into the yellow, lose the shooter, and have the red stay. It would be unlucky, but it is a possibility that it could happen. Let's throw some weight at this with only about 6 inches of ice. On its way. Shooter's going hard. Make sure she's going to get it. I'm not sure she's going to lose the shooter. She will, but mentioned a minute ago you had to be really careful. And sure enough, she jams the red one, and Yoshimura will steal one here in the first end of this B game at the Hack2House Alberta Curling Series event at Beaumont Curling Club. We'll be back after the break.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Gripper first.
Don't forget the brooms.
Yep, you got it. Yellow.
Come on. Okay, what else? What do you got? You got 1, you got 2, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible. Calling all curlers, novice to pro. Ashland Curling Supply's patented rotator disc system lets you customize your slider right in the store. Velcro attachments make it easy to find the sliding platform that's right for you. Shop Ashland Curling Supplies, 700 McPhillips, online at ashland.com.
Back for the start of the second end, one rock in play. Yoshimura team throwing up a guard, just ran off that center line a little bit. Big difference when it moves off the line. Now the other team has the ability to move the rock around. They can't remove it, but they can move it. As long as they don't take it out of play. It doesn't matter all the time, but sometimes it makes a big difference. So you'd like to get that one biting that center line so they can't do anything with it. The corner guard goes up. It's a good corner guard. Yoshimura is going to play the out-turn come around with a lot of ice. See, that's a good 5, probably looking at 6 plus feet of ice. I don't know if it'll quite get over that far or not, but it'll come awfully close rather. See, right about the hog line there is where it really starts to go sideways, and as long as it has enough weight to carry it to the top of the forefoot, you will bury it. And she does. They actually have to be careful, believe it or not, that it didn't come out the other side. That's a great shot. Above the tee line. Dead behind the guard. Sturmay now will look to play around the corner guard that she threw up. I think we're going to be in for a real treat with this game. It's I think you got two teams that will go after it a little bit, and watching them play, they all throw the rock very well, and I really think this is going to be a tremendous game, despite the little steal in the first end by Yoshimura. And that's a good shot as well. So one more rock before anybody's allowed to move any of that stuff in the front. We'll see if they choose to do that. Second stone, Keiho Onodera for the Japanese squad. This one's curling maybe a little too much. Will she sneak it by? And they will. Tremendous shot. Tremendous sweeping. Well done. I think Sturmay's going to have to move something here now. And she will. Possibility of a double. The possibility of a triple. Triple's probably very difficult, but double's very makeable. A double and a roll even over towards the other side to help quarter guard the other rock is possible. Very good. It was Desiree Haas. I removed a couple of stones and it worked out pretty good. Not quite sure. Now, it kind of surprised me a little bit. I didn't think the Yoshimura team would run this corner at this point. I thought they'd just come around the center guard and they're in their own rocket in the top of the 12-foot. You have a lead, but it's not a very big one, so I don't know that you need to go this way yet, but looks like she's going to have a good shot. It's a great rock, leaves the corner guard. Changes the color of the corner guard, which sometimes is important. Sometimes doesn't matter, but sometimes it is important. Sturmay looking at playing the run back. For a minute, I think she was considering whether or not she may draw around the corner. And also perhaps considering when she runs this back, where would she have to hit it to have the currently stationary yellow stone end up behind that corner guard, which is also a possibility. I'm going to curl a little too much for that. Desiree Haas not having any problem with these run backs and doubles and whatnot so far. That's very good throwing, 2 good shots. Yoshimura now will play the come around the yellow one. Some people would like to go the other way. I'd be thinking hard about going the other way, just so that if you ever leave a portion of the stone uncovered, there's no opportunity to roll behind the guard, remove and roll behind the guard. Not a big deal, but it could become a bigger deal later on. So the outturn draw, but they've got this down. It curls so much that as long as you're in the neighborhood, it's going to, if anything, pop out the other side anyways. Good sweepers. Pretty good. Great shape, these curlers. It's quite often the Asian teams, these girls may be a little bit bigger, but quite often some of the Asian teams, the front ends aren't very big people, and boy, I'll tell you, they get a lot of the sweeping. They go hard, and they go fast, and it's it's a pleasure to watch them sometimes, because we always feel like you're going to be like a 180 pounder or something to really get a lot out of it, and they certainly prove that you don't. So we got about what I think would be a board weight shot, a bumper weight shot here, as Selena Sturmay team goes after this red one. This would be Danielle, and I'm probably going to butcher this one. I apologize in advance, but Schmeeman, I think. Just not 100% sure on the pronunciation there. Looks like a good shot. Needs to curl a hair more. May get it out. We'll see. Not quite. Just need to hit a little bit more of it. Did move it from where it was a real problem, at least. Yoshimura now will ask her third, Unakatani. Kotani, probably Kotani, to play the outturn come around. Try to get this one right behind the guard. Well, they certainly, all the brooms went up. It was good stuff. It was a very good shot. Curl a little bit too much, but not very much too much, so I take it as a good shot. Sturmay looked at for a minute, I think, at playing the run back and has opted to play the down weight shot. Just remove the red. Try to get by that guard. You may be able to get by the guard and stay right there. Buried. One sweeper going hard to hold it straight, so I think she's going to be on the guard for sure. So I think that probably that was underthrown, given that it only went to the back of the button here. So biggest part of the problem was probably the weight. It just, if you underthrow it, it will make you look bad sometimes. It just curls so hard and so early. So Yoshimura now playing a draw right in on top. Not sure if she was going to the top of the yellow or the top of the red. If she's going towards the red, she wants to totally bury this. Sayaka Yoshimura. Good player. So it looks like she's trying to freeze basically to her own in the 4-foot biting the top of the button, side of the button. So maybe a little warm, but very good, nicely done. I do find I say that a lot, that it looks like it's a little warm, because it does to me when it's coming in there. It looks like it's going to be a little bit warm, but most of the time they're pretty darn close. Sturmay's got to play the run back here. She needs to be able to do something to give herself a chance to score, and right now it would be very difficult to do so if you did anything else. You could go around the out turn, tap the red onto the other red, move it out, and you'd be sitting pretty good, except for the fact that it's difficult. And also Yoshimura would be throwing one before you throw another one, so it's she could discard it all right up, and you may not be able to get to the shot rock at all. So we'll see what Selena does with this one. It's a run back. I don't know if it's a shot she plays a lot, but needs to stay straight. Well, gets rid of one. Certainly better than nothing. Leaves Yoshimura basically the same shot she just threw. She might go in turn this time just to end up with a guard if you happen to be a little bit light. Although again, same thing we've been saying is that if you were light, I think Sturmay could go around on the out turn and actually move the red one far enough to score too. She may be going to play her own onto the yellow. Well, it's an interesting call. It's a very, very defensive call, and I don't know that you need to be that defensive here. But anyway, to each his own, or her own in this case. Problem with this shot is that the best you're going to do when it's done is probably end up with a shot rock in the 8-foot someplace. And you just threw the other shot. You just threw the perfect freeze on your first shot. I just think I would really like to throw that shot again. Scoopers on it early. Yeah, it's a very good shot. Just think maybe perhaps a little bit of a missed opportunity is all. But you do have a 1-0 lead, and by playing that shot, you couldn't possibly give up any more than one. You actually forced the other team to take one, so in some books that would have been job done well. Force the other team to one. And they don't have it yet either, so be a little careful with this one. You haven't got a long way to roll. Selena Sturmay. Very gentle weight. Gotta go pretty hard. You gotta hold this straight. and she will do just that. So a solid shot for Selena Sturmay. At the end of the second end, we are tied at 1 here at the Hack2House Alberta Curling Series Women's Major at the Beaumont Curling Club. We'll be back after the break.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
So, 1-1 tie here between Yoshimura and Sturmay. Third end of an 8-end game. It's interesting, last night, or a couple nights ago, I watched a little bit of the Canada-USA Everest curling event. I'm not sure what they call it, but it was very interesting, and they actually played 7 ends. I thought that was a very different thing. I'm sure it had something to do with TV time or something like that, but it just seemed odd. Canada came out in both the men's and women's games on top in that event, so that was nice to see for the club curlers championships, basically. Everest's done a nice job with that for the last few years. So, guard went up. Yoshimura, I'm not exactly sure. I guess she was trying to go right around that. Just came up short as well. Sturmay now will ask her to lead Paige Papley. Play the out turn, come around. Strikes me as a very good team, this Sturmay team. They seem to throw it well, and I like their weight choices. It'll go hard to get this by. And that will not work. Probably could have took that a little bit earlier. It's hard. You need to get it early, or else you're going to have a hard time holding it. But they probably thought it was enough weight, and it was. They did have a little bit of wiggle room, I think, for sweeping. But lead Anna Omiya being asked to play basically that same shot. Wow, that one's going crazy. So that's not, as much as it curls, that's not a natural curl. We've seen a little bit of that today where a few rocks have gone a little bit askew, I guess would be the right word. Just maybe ice just a little flat in a couple spots or something like that. Not many, don't get me wrong. Probably seen, this is the third game I've done today, and that's probably the third time I've seen that happen. But so it's certainly not a lot. It hasn't happened on anything desperately important yet, I don't think. So second stone, Desiree Hawes for Team Sturmay, being asked again to play that same shot. And this one does look a little bit warm, but Not bad at all. Nah, good shot. Wrong again. Yoshimura out, rushing around. They're just not liking the way the rocks are kind of coming in there, I think. This will be an interesting call for Yoshimura. Yeah. She's going to run the top one. I think that's the best choice. Pick up one of those reds on the way by. Looks like she's going to try to go. Going to go either way. So we'll have to wait to see how she plays this to really see where she's trying to hit this. Let's wait. I think it's just going to be a single pick here. Ooh, almost hit the red one. That could have worked out okay, I guess, if she just touched the red, but I don't know if the angle was right, but if it was, it could have ended up with the red one going into the house, at least on top of the yellow, perhaps. Oz going to play a guard here. It's tough to leave both those opposition red stones. They are both very raisable and fairly short raises. And a team that throws a rock pretty straight, so you want to do something to make it a little more difficult. Selena wants a guard a little closer to the center line. It's a pretty good shot. Okay, so Yoshimura now looking at kind of the same idea. She's trying to run the yellow on the red and the red onto the yellow. Good call. Good option too. If you don't quite get it, should still be pretty beneficial. It's close. I might have to curl a little bit more. Well, kind of did half the job anyways. Forces Sturmay to throw a guard. And Yoshimura still has the one red one at the top of the 12-foot, or just off the 12-foot there, that she can use for a very similar type shot. Third stone, Danielle Schmiemann. It's a very, very long guard, but it does guard it, but it is very hittable, or gettable, removable, whatever word you want to use. You can get it on a come around hit, soft hit, or you can try the run back if you like. So a little signal tap of the foot usually means hack weight. That looks, by the look of the ice, that looks about what I would expect that she would try to throw here. You have to have enough weight to move it out, I think. Going hard. Yeah, this one might be on the guard. And it is. Yeah, I think a little inside out of her hand, and also probably a little light. Danielle will be asked to throw that same guard. Maybe a little bit tighter than that. she'd probably like it. You know, she may like it out as far as it was. I think it was, like I said, I think it was a gettable kind of a stone. So I think it was a little bit long. I'm sure Selena's thinking, well, if I'm out there, there's less chance of her playing the yellow on the red on the yellow. So, which I'd probably rather not have happen if I was her. But somewhere not too far away from the last one would be fine. Well, you definitely leave the red one open. Yoshimura is going to continue to move this. I don't quite know what she does with that broom signal when she does that, but so it's really a kind of a run back. You're going to try to peel this over the top of the red, make contact with the red rock on the way by. And with a little luck, remove the yellow. But at the very least, maybe get the red one in there, at least someplace in play. So we'll see how, I can't tell from here, but yeah, that was going to be a very difficult shot. The angles were pretty sharp for trying to make it the other way, because really to make the shot that I think she wanted there, she would have had to hit that, you know, a fair bit thinner actually. So Selena could come right in here, and I wouldn't be surprised if she is. Although she's got a lot of ice. Of course, that's the other thing we say all day long, is got a lot of ice. Let's see, we're going to get a little help from the third here, maybe on where she wants it. I know they would talk about it at the other end, obviously, but no pity for the poor announcer who has to guess. Now, there's only two choices, really. You're throwing basically a straight guard, or you're coming around that high one and sit two. I don't think anywhere in the house in front of that rock's not a wise idea. It's pretty gettable double. So this one's on its way. I really think it's just playing a straight guard here. Well, she lined him up good enough she might get away with it, but definitely an opportunity here for Yoshimura to hit and roll behind the guard, behind the red guard. And, you know, will the other one go out? Will the top one go out? I think there's a good chance it will. It may not, but you may be able to roll behind the red guard and maybe behind the red or behind the yellow, whichever one, wherever you end up. You might be able to move the top yellow here out far enough that you're going to be shot at least. So. Could go out turn at this as well. She has enough room on the out turn. But there's a lot more room on the in turn. It's just, I always like, if I'm going to play a little hit and roll like this, if I have the choice of playing it where my stone I throw, that is, actually kind of make contact, is coming into the stone versus going across the top of the stone. Especially on swingy ice, it's just really hard to judge that going over the top. So it's on its way. She's going to be very close. Very close. Yeah, it was a really hard shot. Like, it didn't maybe look quite as hard as it really was. She would have had to hit, especially coming from that turn. She would have had to hit it probably a lot harder and significantly thinner than that. So you would have had to let that rock curl even more past where her nose is. And that gets scary on swingy ice when the rock is curling away from you and you're still letting it curl. Because I'll tell you, once it gets there, you're not getting it back. Sturmay now looking at maybe playing the second shot, just at 2, rather than the straight guard. That's a good call too. Makes you wonder a little bit why she didn't play it on the first one, but I suppose wouldn't be even saying that if she had gotten her guard exactly where she wanted it on the first one. Sayaka might have just had to play a hit, get rid of one, and let her do it all over again. So I'll come around here, in turn come around for Selena Sturmay from Alberta. Third end of our B Division game. Sturmay and Yoshimura from Japan. Say the weight's pretty good here. The sweepers seem to be just happy with it. Needs to curl a little bit more though. I think the Japanese team might have got away with that. It's just they weren't sweeping that. I think they were thinking double and not really thinking they could get that one out with a, you know, far enough that it would be number 3, I guess. Something like that. I think she has to play the hit on the yellow one for sure, the one that's right there by her room. Just a matter of whether or not you try to roll in on this or not. I think you might as well. I think you've got to roll somewhere. I don't think you want to roll out because it's makeable to go around and tap that yellow. You only got to tap it about probably 2 inches. I don't even know if you have to tap it, but it sure looks like, to me, it looks like the red is second shot, but it may not be. It's a little hard to tell that yellow on yellow, and with eyes that aren't quite as young as they used to be. So big shot here, fairly early in the game, but certainly a difference maker if you ever make this thin double. A lot of conversation going down there. I think she's very close to having this. That's a terrific shot, and she would have loved to have stayed.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Calling all curlers, novice to pro. Ashland Curling Supply's patented rotator disc system lets you customize your slider right in the store. Velcro attachments make it easy to find the sliding platform that's right for you. Shop Ashland Curling Supplies, 700 McPhillips, online at ashland.com.
So Yoshimura picks up 1 there to go up by a score of 2-1 after 3. Tough last shot that she almost made for 2. That's an excellent shot there. Just a reminder, this Hack2House Alberta Curling Series Women's Majors brought to you by the Alberta Curling Series, by Curling Zone on YouTube, and by Curling Stadium Beaumont. Pleased to bring it to you here. B Division game again. Yoshimura Sturmay. Winners looking to move to a B qualifier tomorrow. And the losers looking to probably play, hopefully for them, another 2 or 3 games to come through the C side and qualify. Good corner guard. Teams have done a good job with this so far. They seem to pretty much end up after 4 rocks with the same scenario almost every time, but all because they've made shots, not because they've missed anything. It's just a little on the light side, I think. Well, some really good sweeping there by the front end for the Yoshimura team. Yoshimura team. They got everything they could get out of that. That was just a hair on the light side. So lead Paige Papley now. We'll try to play the intern come around the corner for Sturmay. As predicted, a very good shot. They're tough because they really need to almost overcurl a little bit to have them not be removable. When you do that, they peek out the other side, which makes you feel like you didn't put it in the right place, but just a little backline kind of weight shot. Looks like a dandy. And will they roll behind the guards? And well, that is a terrific shot. A very, very good shot by second stone Keho Onodera. So Selena thinks I better clean things up a little bit. It's probably not a bad idea. Should get a couple. And she did. Desiree Haas has moved a lot of red rocks out of the house in this game in just 2.5 ends. Or 3.5 ends, sorry. This one looks pretty good for Japanese team. I dare say it looked a little heavy, but it actually was, in fact, a little bit heavy. It's been a little bit chilly out there. Some of the front ends are in t-shirts, but most of the players are bundled up a little bit. So the run back here for Desiree. See if she can get rid of another couple of red ones. She's got at least 2 doubles and a single. She's only thrown 7 shots so far, so this one's starting to come up now. It's got to come a little bit more. Not going to quite get it. Very close. Good effort. Yoshimura looking to kind of do the same thing, I think. Just come right around that yellow one. This one sure doesn't look heavy. Yeah, I won't be terribly happy with that. That's really not, you're really not trying to guard the one at the back. You're really trying to get shot rock with that. And by being short, you not only didn't make the shot, but you also gave Sturmay a much better opportunity to come around all that stuff. This would be out turn. Should be looking to put this somewhere just above the tee line. Even full 8-foot would probably be good if it was buried. Third stone, Danielle Schmiemann. Playing an out-turn draw, out-turn come around. Girl's going hard. That's a very good sweeping job. When the rock is dying like that and it's really just going sideways, it's hard sometimes probably to convince yourself to keep going. But if you can just keep it moving, even sometimes you're going to keep it moving when you think it should be stopped, you can really make a difference. You can completely bury shots that look like they just didn't even have a chance sometimes. This one's got to curl a lot. Not a real good shot there for Yuna Katani. You never know it. Some of these teams, kind of admire them a little bit because they're just always at least in a decent mood. I'm sure sometimes it's got to be a little tough if you're not having a good game or something like that. But for the most part, they're always tapping each other in the back and giving each other high fives. And it doesn't matter how it's going. Not to say it's not going well for Yoshimura here. She's up 2-1. But even on a shot like that, there wasn't really a particularly good shot for her third stone. Everybody's like, good try, good effort. Pretty good try. I say good try. Actually, I shouldn't even say that. That's not almost unfair. It's a very good shot. I think Yoshimura could remove it if she threw the right weight here. So she just needs to get to the 12-foot. She could do that. She could be a half a shot away from a multiple score here. a lot of ifs. A lot of things have to happen, but so I don't think she's playing to remove it. I think she's playing to basically come around it or sit on the corner of it, one of the two. Although they just indicated possibly a freeze to the back one. Even her own at the back, either one of them, I think. I think if she comes to her own, she definitely won't be shot. If she comes to Sturmay's Yellow Rock at the back of the circle there, the one that's sitting right on the word Beaumont, then I think she would be shot. You know, just see what she does. Sturmay with a good opportunity here. Danielle's just doing a little cleanup out there. It's always a good idea. You see that quite often. Front end's at one end and the third stones are doing it at the home end. I just step away there for a minute, so. Sturmay's first shot here in the fourth end. Okay, come right back to the red one, I believe. Yeah, on the front one. Didn't move it either, I think. I'm not sure who shot, to be honest. I guess we're gonna have to wait to find that out. If Yoshimura's shot rock, then Selena really needed to move that yellow one a little bit. And it didn't seem like that was what they were trying to do, so she may already be shot rock. Yoshimura's final stone here. Kind of the same shot, I think. She'd go right down and sit on her own. Probably force Sturmay to take one. Make a good shot to take one. See if we can have a look at what the ice runs at here on this shot. would definitely be challenging ice for the sweepers. There's just so much extra information you have to process. This one's got a curl. Now they're going hard. Well, we really dug in when it decided to slow down. That's a tough one. As I say, sometimes the rock's out there so long that you get caught in between. Do we wait for it? Do we go on it? What do we do here? It's just hard to get it right every time. Nothing really wrong with that shot, but I think that she would have liked to have gone another... Even though she might have made Selena's shot that little bit easier, I think she would have preferred to be a little bit further back. Make any opportunity for a double that much more difficult. Because if, in fact, if red is sitting 1-2 right now, she could come down and move that red, like take the one off the button, direct it towards the red that's just biting the forefoot. If she just makes contact with that, she will end up getting them both and scoring a couple. But very difficult. Looks like probably maybe hack weight with that ice. Maybe slightly more than hack. Can't be too much more than hack. The side sweeper going hard would make you feel like they need to keep it straight. Definitely going to be on that one. Just a matter of... I'm not going to quite touch the red. So we know it's a good shot, so it's definitely one. I'm just not sure yet. So I didn't really catch that. So we might just have to wait until we come back after the break to let you know if it's 2-2 or 3-2 for Sturmay.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Well, we're back here, but we still haven't got an update on the score. So as far as we know, it's going to be 2-2 or it's going to be 3-2 for Sturmay, and we'll take a couple more minutes here as the teams take a little break after 4 ends of play. We'll be back here shortly.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
We're back, and Sturmay did pick up the 2 in the 4th end. That was a great shot by Selena, and she didn't have a lot of room to work with back there, but just had enough. And she has a 3-2 lead after 4 ends of play. A very good game going here. And hanging out a little bit more than she would have liked. So in turn takeout coming for Paige Papley. It's amazing how you're just looking and you're thinking, God, you got to go on that, make that curl, you guys, and then next thing you know, it's like, it's over curled. So, good throw. So Japan's lead, Anna Omiya, being asked to remove the rock in the house. We did try to find out how to pronounce all these names using the wonderful internet thing between games earlier today, but it's just not easy. Good shot. I don't know if, I'm not so sure Yoshimura really wants to play around behind that center guard anyways. Sturmay calling for what I think would be a just a somewhat down weight hit. That's a very good shot. Desiree Haas has had her takeout game in fine form today. Yoshimura second stone. Keho Onodera. Onodera probably. On the high sweeper, trying to get some movement. And she will. Maybe not enough to stay. Well swept by skipper Sturmay. Excuse me. Big difference on that shot if it stays or if it rolls out. If it stays, there's a good chance that Selena's going to go after it. Not having hammer in this end. But now she gets the luxury of being able to kind of get around that center guard first. Desiree Haas. One of the few times I think I've called a draw for her. Maybe a little deeper than she wanted, I think, but not bad. So it does look like Yoshimura is going to try to move that. Some of these shots I think you'd be better off just playing a draw down there. You can get them out, but most of the time your shooter doesn't end up in a great place. And but having said that, good throw, good shot. Exactly what was called. So Selena Sturmay is going to play the draw. Had to work hard to get that one to the center line. I had that at 14-2, and that was probably just a little bit back, so probably about 14.5. Pretty nice curling ice. Yoshimura looking to move the yellow back. You can see it just indicates just past the back line for weight. Not necessarily looking to even get this yellow one out, just get it back. Get it back and get your shooter in front of the other one. In front of the other red. Sweepers want to sweep. And one of them wants to sweep. It's going to be a little heavy. Yeah, not a bad shot, but she was definitely a little bit heavier than the skipper indicated, I think, and that's why she ended up removing her own stone. Sturmay playing the draw, basically playing a freeze to the red one. Trying to really shrink up this scoring area. She's not real worried about whether or not she can score. She just really wants to make sure that she holds Sayaka Yoshimura to just one, which would put her in a good position playing the sixth end with hammer tied up. Not to say she won't take a point if she can get one, but I don't think that's job one, as they say right now. This is going to be pretty good. Oh, going to overcurl a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit of an overcurl. So the call here for Yoshimura is to freeze to the inside of the red one, if you will, the low side, the first side further away from her. So right on the nose, or a little bit on the right hand side as we look at it, as we look at the house, would be perfect. Third stone, Yuna Kotani. Sometimes interesting watching people after they throw to where they like to be on the sheet. Some people like to be right behind the rock. Other people move right to the side. I could never quite figure that one out. I always thought, well, I don't want to move way over to the side. But you do see people that do that. That's a very good shot, an excellent shot, really. It's lined up perfectly on the back yellow, so it's really difficult to remove both reds. Or even one red, really, except for picking it out. You could play the pick and pick the middle one out. Don't have very many shots left, though. This will be a very interesting discussion. Red sitting probably just one. Maybe two. Looking at it on the other screen, it looks like you can see it. Looks like red might be sitting two. And I don't see what she finished with here. I think she might be just playing the pick the red one out. Maybe, or maybe not. We'll have to see what she's playing. I don't really know with that ice what else she could be playing. If you do pick this out, you can look for Yoshimura to maybe play a little hit and roll off the back yellow one. Not sure. She'd have to think about some options. Selena's throwing with a little bit of weight, so definitely trying to play a pick. It's a very, very nice throw. Excellent throw. I'm still not 100% sure on the shot rock thing. There seem to be I find the yellow on the yellow just a little bit tough to tell. It's funny, some people are very definitive with when they call the shot from a point of view of this chair where you're trying to see what they're playing. Some people are and you know, they're not worried about what we're thinking, obviously, which is the right thing to do, but sometimes they're very definitive and very easy to tell what they're playing because they tap here and tap there and they make sure everybody knows in a different way. Other times you'll have teams that just they tap 3 or 4 places and then just obviously vocally are discussing and saying, okay, well, let's do that, and then everybody leaves and you don't really know exactly what they've decided on. So usually you can tell by the ice, obviously, but every now and then, no. Even this shot, I'm not 100% sure where she's trying to end up here. And that's partly because I'm just not sure on the shot rock. Could go right through the hole here. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's just they didn't manage that shot very well coming down the sheet. I don't think they just weren't exactly on the same page. Maybe a little bit of communication lacking on where it was for weight. I still to this time to now don't know exactly what they were playing. It was heavy enough that I feel like they were playing a little tap on the red. Just not exactly sure what that get you. I know at the end they were certainly going hard to make a play on the yellow at the back, but I don't think that was plan A or maybe even plan B. But so Sturmay now has a decision to make as well. Nice thing for her though is if she can make a good shot here, she can probably be sitting 3. 2 for sure, maybe 3. Well, I think what I figured out from that is it's a draw for sure, and they're going somewhere in that 4 foot to button area. I think if she shot rock, she probably wouldn't mind being behind that red one. Let's see what we're gonna do here. Girls having a little chat about down there, probably more about making sure they've got the right ice for that weight, and the weight, they know exactly what they're throwing for weight. So I don't think there's any discussion about the shot. I think the shot's already been determined and they're all good with that. They're just trying to make sure they have the small parts of the shot all sorted out. Selena Sturmay. Looks like it's got a good chance of being good. Very nicely done. Yeah, very nicely done. Sturmay, I don't, you know, I just, I'm not, like I say, I'm not 100% sure what she was trying to get out of that, but I think that was what she called, which would, for me, be a good shot. I don't think you've changed anything for the Japanese team, though, in as far as what they're going to play. But that's okay, too. Well, you might change it a little bit, because they might have been shot before, and now they definitely aren't shot. So they have to play a tap on the red. I'm sure they would like to get more than one, but I don't see that there, so no matter what you play, I don't think you're getting more than one. So I would be happy with my 1. And Jess will still make a pretty good shot to get the 1, to be honest. Final rock of the 5th end. Skip Sayaka Yoshimura. Drawing against 1 or 2. Everything pretty much in that 4 foot area. She can come to the yellow one that Selena just threw and be shot. She can tap her own red one up and be shot. And beyond that, she gives up 1, so let's see what she does here. Scoop is going hard to make a curl. Now they got to know if they're trying to hit the red one or if they're trying to play a straight draw. Looks like it's a tap on the red, and that is a heck of a shot. It's a great shot by Sayaka Yoshimura, team from Japan. Ties this one up with Selena Sturmay at 3 after 5 ends.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline, join the revolution.
two, yeah!
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Calling all curlers, novice to pro. Ashland Curling Supply's patented rotator disc system lets you customize your slider right in the store. Velcro attachments make it easy to find the sliding platform that's right for you. Shop Ashland Curling Supplies, 700 McPhillips, online at ashland.com.
So just 3 ends remain in this B division game at the Hack2House Alberta Curling Series Women's Major. And we are all knotted up at 3 after 5 ends. Sturmay to have hammer here in the 6th end. Yoshimura throws a center guard in the first one. They're having a little trouble getting that on the center line, but it hasn't burned them so far because Sturmay goes to the corner pretty much every time on the first shot. So this time Yoshimura is going to go a higher guard. So far it seemed like they've had a guard with one in the house after 2 rocks most of the time. This time she's going to go with a higher guard. So end up with double guard situation close to the center line, if not on the center line. Sturmay's done a good job putting those corner guards on the right place. Seen a lot of times over the last couple of days where the corner guard just doesn't end up in the right place. It ends up too close to the center, making the draw tough, although this one with the draw would be tough as well. Or it's just not far enough, it's still not far enough over. And occasionally it gets earlier in the week before they got a handle on the ice that were too far over. Some of them were, only guarding about 6 or 7 inches of the 12-foot. That's a pretty tough, it's usable, but pretty tough to use it sometimes, so especially if you got a roll there. But anyway, see what that comes here. This is a draw around the corner guard. This looks pretty good. Ooh, maybe a little heavy. Shouldn't say that probably, but no, it's fine. It is actually a little bit heavy, but it's still fine. Paige Papley's done a good job today, this evening. Or what time is it out here now? It's where I am, it's 12:30 at night, so it's probably 9:30. So it's done a good job this evening, putting those first two rocks in the right places. So we got the out-turn draw. Out-turn come around, really. Working hard on this one. If she's got the right weight, she's got, I think, a good shot. She's pretty close. I'm going to stop now before it opens up on the other side. Probably a little bit of an oversweep, but a very good shot. So we're playing appeal here, but you don't blame her. Desiree has done nothing but remove red rocks all night long, so... Well, she's done some other things too, but predominantly remove red rocks tonight. And she's got a chance here to remove another couple of red rocks. At least 2. She's only going to get 1 this time, I think. Yeah. We'll curl a little bit. She might have helped it a little bit, get it over there. By that I just mean that sometimes when you're throwing, particularly on the in-turn, if you're for a right-handed person, if you're throwing that draw, that hit in there, sometimes you just hold on a little long and kind of take it towards the broom a tiny little bit. So I don't know how everybody else refers that to. Sometimes I'll just refer to that, kind of helped it in a little bit. And on this kind of ice, you don't need to help it. That's the one thing about it. When you're playing on straight ice, lots of times that's the way you have to throw the rock because you need it to stay. You need to get some curl out of it, and you have to do it that way. The girls are really going hard on this. Well, I don't think they're going to get it over. So pretty big miss. Second stone guy. Oh no, Dara. Second shot. She won't be happy with that one, but so interesting here. Selena Sturmay is going to ignore that one in the 4-foot and the guard. Oh no, she's not. She's playing the hit on the guard. I thought maybe she was going right around the corner again. Well, a little bad luck for Desiree there. She's done a terrific job all night long of removing red rocks. This time she just had the misfortune to hit another one. So Yoshimura sitting one now. I said it was a pretty unlucky jam, really. Sitting one, going to play the come around. We'll just see what side she's coming from. She's traditionally, so far tonight, has seemed to want to play the out turn here all the time. And she will do the same this time, I believe. You can slide. You just, for me again, I mentioned earlier, and I hesitate to come this way on this particular shot. It's just some more things that can happen that aren't good on that side. I'd rather come around on the in-turn side, and then I put everything where I'd like it to be. But having said that, twice now, this shot and the last shot, they have thrown it and can buy the guard tight enough that it's peaked out just like you were throwing it in turn anyways. Not really any danger there to be caused by where it ended up. So very good shot. Another one. Reminder as well, we have full field of games again tomorrow. You can find them on the Alberta Curling Series YouTube site or the Curling Zone YouTube site. Full coverage. A little run back here. She's really close to making this. And a good shot. Danielle Schmiemann. Very good shot. Reminder as well, sometimes you will go to watch a game and there won't be a commentator. It's just we don't have always enough commentators that want to do this, or enough people that are volunteering to do it, and so it gets to be a challenge sometimes to be able to have commentators on every game. But we continue to try, and we will certainly have as many as we like. If you like the opportunity to give it a go sometimes, you can contact them through Curling Zone, and they can probably hook you up on a game or two. So the intern hit here. They'd like a little bit of a roll. Looks like she'll get a tiny little bit of a roll. Nope, not much. But Yoshimura sitting two with the hammer. There's not too awful many rocks to come. Looks like three apiece. Team having a little discussion here. I don't know if they're 100% sold in this shot. Desiree Hawes looked like she was, or Hawes, Desiree Hawes rather, looked like she was maybe looking at a different shot, but at the end of the day, Danielle likes it good enough, she's going to throw it. Let's wait. Surely going to hit it, just a matter of where it goes after it hits. I think it's going to be a little bit thin for that one. No. Excellent shot. Very, very nice shot. after all that discussion, they got it right. I thought it might have been just a little bit high. I guess probably that would be a little bit on the thick side, not the thin side. I thought it might roll over the top of the red is all, is what I was thinking in my mind. It just looked like it was going in that direction, but it did not. It was perfect. It is in a good spot still for Yoshimura, though, to have a chance to use it, as she still tries to get her 2 here in this sixth end. And if you could ever, it'd be really tough, I think, but if you could go down and get close to the nose of the yellow, move the red one back far enough, and have the right angle when you're done. And then, of course, you need Selena to miss. But if all that stuff happened, you could get 3. Highly unlucky. Right now, she's still hoping to get 2. Skip deuce here would be nice. Barring that, just make sure you score. 6 that is just such an important end to score. And had me fold for a minute. The little thing on the side said 5th, and so I had to look up the scoreboard. This looks okay. Needs to curl a little bit more and not bounce. It's just about perfect. You know, it's just really, really a good shot. I don't know now if the yellow would go over the top of the red, but that's kind of what we were talking about when we were chatting a second ago, when I was talking about, I guess, about myself tonight. Yeah. Like I say, you need a little bit of help from the opposition here, but still, either way, really good shot. And depending on what Selena does, you may have a chance for more than one. I think she can remove the yellow. I think it's the only problem is it may touch the red, and if it touches the red, then it may go just over on the other yellow. So you might still have a couple of red ones in, but yellow might be sitting number 3, and depending on where yours are, there might be a double opportunity. So that's a lot of ifs, but there's still. I guess the point is that you still have a couple of things could happen here. Selena's not taking a ton of ice, so she's obviously planning on hitting it. Number 1, and then just a matter of where it goes. This shot's got to be a little bit precise. If you hit about 2/3 to 3/4 of this rock, you might drive your yellow one over top of the other red one, and all the red ones stay in the house, and only your lowly shooter that you're throwing now might be the only yellow one in the house. So just commit and throw it. Lots of rotation. Thought she was maybe just a little bit outside, but she's definitely not outside. Oh, I don't know that I saw that happening, actually. So I thought she had a good throw there, but she has left Yoshimura sitting one. Looking at whether or not she would like to play the 2 yellows, perhaps, to set up a possible 3. Two, 3. I don't know that I think that would be we grasp him a little bit by playing that, I think. I think that's a good shot. You just got to roll far enough. You got to roll to the right place so you don't leave a double on the reds. So that could be a few places. That could be right behind the yellow long guard. Could be right over to the ONT in Beaumont. You don't want to hit your own here, that's for sure. She's looking at a double, and I think she figures if she can make the double, she could be sitting 3 when this is done. Be careful you don't get ahead of yourself here. Oops. With Sturmay having hammer, I was looking at the little hammer on the scoreboard there, and it's, or on the little icon in the bottom, and got a little mixed up on who had hammered for a minute. Sweepers have some very definitive signals. I don't know what they all are. She needs to hit quite a bit of this. Well, that was a pretty darn good shot. I don't know if there's a chance there for Sturmay to get a couple. I don't know for sure if you can squeeze the red out and maybe touch the other red on the way by without jamming something back there. I'm just not sure. I'm sure, what I am sure of is she's going to try to do something along that line, because I don't think there's anything really that should go terribly wrong on it. You've basically got the same shot. If you were going to play that hit and stay on the red, I think you've got the same shot as you would be throwing if you were trying to hit it almost on the nose and maybe feather that red rock on the way by for 3, possibly for 3. For any of you that are paying attention to the scoreboard in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen with the hammer and the score, that's in the end, none of that information is exactly correct. So the score is 3-3, and hammer's coming now with Selena Sturmay throwing it. So we can have Selena could make a terrific shot here for a multi-point score. We'll see what happens. Not completely sure where she needs to hit it. That was a good try. There was not a lot of room to move that through there. So Selena Sturmay picks up 1, takes a 4-3 lead after 6 ends of play here at the Hack2House Alberta Curling Series Women's Major.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next curling stadium.
So we only have 2 to go here in this B Division game. In the Hack2House Alberta Curling Series Women's Major event at the Beaumont Curling Club. 2 ends to go in today's draws, and we have a 4-3 lead for Selena Sturmay over Sayaka Yoshimura of Japan. So Sturmay throws up the center guard on her first shot, and Yoshimura is going to ignore it by the look of it and come right around it. She could throw the corner. If I had to guess with Yoshimura, she will probably, not a dangerous guess, but I think she will probably be looking for a blank end versus a multiple score right now. I think that's always a challenge with the rules today, to start off and then looking for a blank end, but that's what I think she'll be doing versus, trying to generate a couple points, because I think if you were going to generate a couple of points, you might have thought about a corner guard, and she didn't really seem to think much about that. So she's behind the tee line, which is not helpful for her team. Selena now will throw up, I think, another guard. Pretty good shot. I thought she was going to go another guard there, but she decided to come right in. It's a little hard sometimes. I did this even the last draw. It was just a little hard to follow the strategy at times, but I'm sure if you were watching me play, you'd be saying the same thing. So, yeah, that's a good shot. It'll be interesting to see how this end develops now. Sturmay is going to play a hit. In an ideal world for Sturmay, she would force Yoshimura to take one, have Hammer tied up coming home. Always sounds very simple, and sometimes is as hard as you can imagine to do. There's Ray Hawes doing what she does. Yoshimura is going to play an out-turn hit, try to roll this on the rings. This could be pretty good, I think. We'll roll to the center. Very good. Very good, and I don't know if it's good sometimes, because Sturmay now has abandoned the idea of getting rid of rocks, and she's going to go right to the center. Not a complete surprise to me. I haven't watched her play a lot over the years because we just aren't in the same part of the country and all that kind of stuff, but I've seen enough to make me feel like she would be aggressive whenever she needs to be. And this might be the time to need to be honest. It's a hard one to chase out here from here. Desiree Haas. This time playing an intern come around, draw. Hasn't played a ton of draws. At least I don't feel like she has. I don't keep the score sheet. I probably should. Problem is I can't multitask sometimes good enough to keep a score sheet and still be able to talk. It's a good shot. Interesting call. Yoshimura looking at splitting the two reds. She does that. She sits number 2, number 3, number 4 probably. That would not be so bad. She might even end up with like number 1, 3, and 4 or something, but either way, she would end up with 3 rocks, 3 reds in the house, and just 1 yellow. And Yoshimura with hammer. So in a pure number sense, she would have the advantage. Doesn't always work that way, but so we get an outturn really heavy draw, if you want to call it that. It's probably something you need to have really back 8, somewhere around back 8, even back 12 would work on this shot. You just need to hit only about 1/3 of the rock. That's well done. Very well done. No real danger yet for Sturmay. She's got a lot of rocks to come, and she has an opportunity to sit 1-2, hit this and sit 1-2. Whoever blinks first really is going to be in trouble, I think. So Danielle Schmeeman. We'll have to find out if I'm saying that right sometime, but in the intern hit, she really wants to stay on this. Looks like she will. It's a good throw, well swept. And stayed probably for number 3. Yeah, helps. So a little tap by Yoshimura tells us the yellow one's closer than the red one, which I think we knew, to be honest. Is so a little discussion coming now with Katani and Yoshimura trying to figure this out. I think I'm going to hit the same one that she just threw and go back to sitting 2, 3, 4 and go a couple of shots like that and see if you get a little bit of a miss. I don't think you really want to go back there for now. Since yellow is number 1 and number 3 now, I like the idea of getting rid of number 3, and she's going to peel the center guard. So I say it's just a little bit hard to follow sometimes. The start of the end, I said I think she will play this for a blank. I got blinks on my head here. I thought she'd play it for a blank, but it just seemed like there was getting to be too many rocks in play, and she also seemed to be building a little bit of an end, even though nothing real strong yet. So I'm just a bit surprised that she's going to run this guard. This is a long way to run it back and take the one in the house. And if you don't make the run, then Sturmay probably hits another one of your rocks, and now sits 3 yellows to your 1 red in the house. So anyway, don't think she's going to get the one she was looking to get, and she left the guard, which also isn't wonderful. So I don't think that shot really accomplished anything positive for the Japanese team. I'm not sure it was going to... If you made it perfect, if you were able to run it back on that other yellow, yes. But other than that, I don't know it was going to be a positive outcome at all. But I certainly wouldn't want to leave the leave it there, or at least get rid of that guard since you were really trying to get rid of it in the first place. So Sturmay probably would come around that guard, try to stay above the tee line. Looking more and more like Yoshimura is going to be forced to one here. Still 3 rocks each to come, but I don't see any of the red rocks that are in the house now. Probably counting at the end, they probably aren't. There's the yellow one at the back against the red one. That red one's not going to go. No, the yellow's not going anywhere unless the red one goes out. And the other two, the yellow shot over the other one. Number 3 over 4, yellow over red. So I don't know exactly how she's ever going to bring any of those into play. But 3 rocks to come, so you got 3 that are still available to score with. It's a good shot. So we'll see what she's going to do. Look, she seems to be looking on the intern side. I have no idea what that symbol meant. It doesn't matter that if I do though, as long as they do. Sayaka seems quite confident in the house. Yeah, she talks a little bit and asks a couple questions of the other team what they want to do, but she doesn't seem to fear any situation really, as far as when it comes time for her to throw. All game decided, score 8-4. I don't know who's winning, but it's a lot of points. This is a good shot. It's scary even for the Sturmay team here, depending on what you play, and you just got to make sure you execute. It's not. I think you're in plenty good enough shape with where your rocks are, but you always see sometimes you get a half a shot or a hit and roll somewhere where you didn't want to roll, and all of a sudden set up a double or whatever, and the other team's sitting a bundle and you don't have hammer, and it gets really, really nasty sometimes. So I don't see that happening here, but you never know. Selena looking to remove the red, and I'm assuming remove the red and roll a little bit inside. It seems like that would be the only logical option here, for all kinds of reasons. One, it's the rocks in behind it are in a place that would be much better if you could hit the red one a little bit on the low side here, not on the high side. And if it's high enough that if you could get a perfect roll behind that guard, you'd be in a very nice position. Let's see what she does. Selena Sturmay. It really is amazing how much it curls. I just say it over and over again, but it really is. It's a very nice shot by Selena Sturmay. Looking to become very difficult for Yoshimura to score more than one here. That could be a shot. You could play that. You could play the double on the yellows. And if you make it, and you can probably make it without moving your red one at the back of the 12 or back of the 8 foot. In which case you'd be sitting number 2 and number 3 at least. But you'd leave Sturmay number 1. You might even be sitting 1, depending on how it all ended up there. You can turn draw to the back even if you did slide to the back. It's not, you never like to slide to the back. You'd like to stay above that. Maybe bite the top of the T-line right about there. That would be perfect, I think. And if it did come back a little bit, and you know, Selena's still got to throw the same perfect shot, and she can't afford to roll off anything, or she's going to give you a 2 and all that. So this team does a lot of figuring, just sort of figuring where they want to roll to, I guess, on this show, not roll to, but where they want the draw to stop. It's actually good in the sense that it's crucial on a shot like this that the sweepers know exactly where you want to be, and probably where you're if there's any tolerance at all, probably want to know what that is. Most of the time at this level, the sweepers will know anyways, but at the same time, they're not always on the same page, so you have to sometimes make sure that they are aware, and maybe sometimes the why part of that. So big shot coming here for Sayaka Yoshimura from Japan. She's been pretty good all day. On really everything. She's got a couple misses, but there hasn't been a trend that she's missing a whole lot of shots, heavy, light, or missing takeouts versus draws or whatever. She's made a lot of really good shots. I'm sure the sweepers get on this one quick enough. Yeah. Just some little mistakes from a sweeper point of view. That one they could have got by there. If they could pick that up a little bit earlier, they didn't really do anything much early on. If they could pick it up a little bit earlier and put it on that almost that same spot, but on the low side of the Yellowstone. So if you can imagine, right now it's sitting at, what would we call that, say 2:30, somewhere around 2:30 on the clock, the red one. If you could take that and move it to like 4:30 on the clock, and the same line, everything else about it, just move it to 4:30 or thereabouts, would be probably a much better place. It might be gettable, but it might also be a little bit dangerous for them to make the effort to get it. So right now we have Sturmay sitting 1, Yoshimura sitting 2, Sturmay sitting 3-4, Yoshimura sitting 5, Sturmay sitting 6, and Yoshimura sitting 7. That's super important information, I'm sure. Maybe the first 2 rocks or 3 rocks of that are what you need to know. The rest of it, it's not going to change anything until we're all done and we have to count them up. Sturmay puts this in the right place, and it's going to be very, very difficult for Yoshimura to score, I think. This one looks like it's got pretty close to the right weight. Sweepers are just kind of watching and maneuvering a little bit. She's playing a straight guard. I didn't think she was at the start, but she must have been, so. Did the job. She was trying to prevent, I assume trying to prevent the little tap and roll in for 2 with the red. Would have been tough to do, but might have been there. The Yoshimura team looking at how they can bring that or how they can score 2. I think it's really tough. Looking at coming off their own red one out there, and that's don't think that's possible. I think you can score 1, but you're not going to score 2 that way. So you're going to score 1. You might as well play the draw to the 4-foot. I do think that's all she's got. I don't see what else she could possibly make. More than 1. There's a couple of ways to make the 1, I think, but so here we go. Team Yoshimura looking at a draw for 1 against 1 here in the 7th end. Make this, you're tied up without coming home, and you miss this, you're down 2 with the hammer coming home. I think everybody would probably pick they'd rather be tied up without, even though you can occasionally give up a 3 in those last ends. I think I'd like to take my chances. I'd rather be up 2, I think. Sayaka Yoshimura. Line is okay here, I think. Be careful, you might want to keep it clean. This is a super shot. Very good shot by Sayaka Yoshimura. She will pick up a 1 here in the 7th end and tie this game up coming home. Sturmay to have hammer in the last end.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Calling all curlers, novice to pro. Ashland Curling Supply's patented rotator disc system lets you customize your slider right in the store. Velcro attachments make it easy to find the sliding platform that's right for you. Shop Ashland Curling Supplies, 700 McPhillips, online at ashland.com.
We're back here for the last end. Well, it should be the last end. It's, I shouldn't say last end for sure, but most of the time with the rules now, there's not too much chance that somebody's not going to score. Never was much of a chance, but it did happen occasionally, back before free guard zones and all that kind of stuff. So a nice draw for the Japanese squad right on the center line. They've been trying to find that one the whole day. Finally got it here in the 8th. Been a very even game, and it's been a pretty good game. There's been a few misses here and there, but for the most part, both teams have played quite well. Not too many glaring errors or anything, so it's been an exciting final end here. Sturmay playing the come around. Pretty regular sort of strategy here when you're down, or when you're tied up without. You're going to throw up hopefully 2 center guards that are both in the no-tick zone, if you will, and have some gap between them, decent gap between them, and The team with the hammer is usually going in twice. And then all heck breaks loose and we figure it out after that. This one's taking his time getting over here. Gonna be in the house, I think. Yeah, certainly not what you wanted. It's just so important to get those two rocks to really ideally be on the center line, but if nothing else, to at least be short. It just takes a big chunk out of the game. Sturmay's gonna ignore that, even though she could play the hit on it. I think she's gonna hit the next shot for sure, so maybe she figures there's no big hurry to hit that one. It is always funny. I always find it strange when teams that, and all these teams talk a little bit about how they're going to play the game and all that, and they play together sometimes for years and years and years. But I've done this myself, so I'm not just suggesting that they do it. That all of a sudden you get in a situation you've been in, 200 times in your curling career, and you still sometimes don't go to the same mindset as far as what you should be playing on these shots. Most teams here, I think, would come around that guard again to the center rather than go to the wings. It's going to be fine out there, but you do tend to, you're putting a rock somewhere where you may have to peel it towards it, and there's a possibility of a jamming there or something like that. So Yoshimura talking about a lot of things here. So she's indicating back four for weight. Back four on the yellow one. Just trying to move that yellow stone of Sturmay's back to where she maybe can use it a little bit. So if she's on the tee line or just behind the tee line, there's an opportunity for her to be able to use that stone. You got to make sure you have enough guards out there. You don't want to be losing all the guards here in one shot, just one swift shot. That's a very good shot. It's exactly what you wanted. Sturmay will go out and peel the guard. She's not looking to get anything other than the guard here. You can tell she just indicated, the way she indicated it was just wants that rock to go to the right, probably at about a 45-degree angle from where it is now, something like that. Have it go away, and she'll be happy. Desiree Haas probably not going to have much trouble with that, and she doesn't. Yoshimura going to put a guard back out. I don't know how much thought they're giving as to where exactly they want these guards, but hopefully that they do know exactly where they want it. They don't get caught in between on it. So the guard going up for Yoshimura. Well, curled slightly, but a good shot. Selena will look to remove it. Just changed it up a little bit. I think she was going the other way with the peel, and now she's thinking I might be able to get rid of this red in the top of the 8-foot. And she's right that she might be able to, but be careful. You might put the Yoshimura stone somewhere you don't want it to be. It can be really thin. It does the job. It was thin enough to do the job too. Yoshimura throwing another guard. It's not taking any time this end anyways. One needs to stop bending. Curl a little further than the last one. I don't know if they're helping that out a little bit or what, but they really, I think, would like to keep that guard a little bit closer to the center line. Sturmay is going to hit the red that's just possibly biting the 12-footer just off the 12-foot there. One thing about that, it opens up the yellow at the back. Sometimes it's hard to just, just be okay with playing this shot because you're going to say you're going to open up your own at the back. You're okay with her playing that, but at the same time, it was in a pretty good spot. Yoshimura going to play the freeze, I think. With how many rocks to come? Probably looks like just a couple, 3, I guess. 3 rocks each to come. Going right in. I think. I don't want to move this at all. And should turn right here, right now. This looks very, very good. If they can get there. Not quite. It's a good shot, but it's not a great shot. If she had been one more foot, a little bit, tiny bit straighter, it would have been a great shot. Sturmay looking at the double. Probably an okay call as well. This will be an out turn with a little bit of weight on it. Probably try to hit, say, half a rock. Maybe gonna over curl. Nope. Very nicely done. It does leave, yeah, it does leave Yoshimura a little bit of a chance. She has a lot of room to work, but if she can find the right weight for this shot, she could put it in a place that will be at least quite difficult for Sturmay to remove. As we approach the last two shots here in the 8th end of our B Division game between Yoshimura and Sturmay. As we've said before, the winner of this goes to a B qualifying game tomorrow morning, I think. And the loser probably is on tomorrow morning as well. C Division usually needs they need 3 draws tomorrow to finish up before the championship Sunday comes. So in-turn draw for Yoshimura. She's made a lot of good shots today, made a lot of good draws as well. We'll see if she can pull another one out here. Ooh, I think this one's dying on them. Gotta go really hard. Not going to get there. I think they got fooled on that. They're just right out of her hand. I think they thought it was going to be there. I guess I miscounted rocks here because I figured that they only had one each there, and I guess they had 2 each there. Otherwise, they would be shaking hands. Sturmay team has called a timeout in case you're wondering what's going on. I don't know who their coach is, but he's out here having a chat with them now. What to play. It is a bit of an awkward call here. Again, you want to make sure you don't do something that makes Yoshimura's last shot easier than it currently is. Sturmay's a good draw weight as well. She could duck around that red guard, red high one at the top of the 8-foot without any trouble. Because right now, she could also hit that, so always carries a little bit of a risk and leaves Yoshimura the same shot she just tried. So it looks like she's going to play, I think, the come around. Pretty much has to be. I'm sure she's not throwing a guard out there now. There's not any real logical reason for doing that. Got to bear down on a shot like this. Sometimes it seems, you feel like, okay, we're in good shape. We're doing this. Where you just don't take quite enough time, and all of a sudden you slide right to the back of the button or something, and the one place on the sheet you don't really want this rock to end up. That's where you put it. So Selena Sturmay is going to deliver the in-turn draw, and I think it's a draw to basically full 8-foot, kind of on the I part of fountain there. This one's curling really, really hard and dying a little bit. You know, not a bad shot. The rub really helped a lot. I don't know if she made her next shot easier on herself, but there was going to be almost nothing she could do there that was going to take away any possibility of Yoshimura doing something to create a more difficult shot for Selena. They're going to play the tap here on the red. Tell you, it's a great call if you make it. Either way, she's got to have. If she doesn't play this, she has to play the in-turn, come around, and get a little bit more than full 4-foot. So, both very difficult shots. And this one here, you have the opportunity to maybe put it in there and have it be very, very difficult to get rid of. See what they think. They look frozen in time right there. Just took, I guess, a hair less ice. It's one thing it's hard to do on ice that curls this much. When you go to the other end, it just looks so different. You put the broom down for a whole end as a skip, and then when you go down to throw yours, you're looking at it and you're like, holy cow, it's a lot of ice. I've done it for like 50 years. So, okay, Yoshimura's final rock on the way. Has to make this one to at least force Selena Sturmay to make her last one. Sweepers did the same indication in the last shot, and it really wasn't heavy at all, so. I don't know if she's got enough oomph. It's close. Just not quite enough. So a very nice try by Sayaka Yoshimura, but not quite good enough. And Sturmay will steal 3 points. Not steal 3 points, but score 3 points here in the final end to win this B qualifying, or not B qualifying, B division game by a score of 7-4. And that concludes play for today. We will be back with you for a whole bunch of qualifying games tomorrow on Saturday, and then the finals on Sunday. A reminder that you can see all of these games on the YouTube at Alberta Curling Series or Curling Zone spots. So thanks very much for watching. My name's Jim Nix, and we will see you again tomorrow.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.